So you went to college. You went to college in the '80s,
Yeah.
and you saw the conservatives organizing. Can you talk about that and what you see now?
Well, I started college in 1984, and outside of Jesse Jackson's campaign in that year, the real phenomenon was the Reagan Revolution. Remember, he was elected in 1980, and he was reelected in a huge landslide over Walter Mondale in 1984. The thing that I remember most were the young Republicans on college campuses. It was an amazing phenomenon. It's like, the right wing understood that they had to create a movement. And this is pre-internet, at least the way we know it now. It was really pre a lot of stuff in terms of mass media. But every college campus that I went to, because I was a student leader, we've traveled, you saw young Republicans. You also saw the creation by a young man named Ralph Reed of the Christian Coalition. You saw the arrival of right-wingers into the mass media culture, Rush Limbaugh, for example. And so there was an understanding that the way to get our philosophy out there, the way to redirect the conversation in this country away from all the stuff in the 60s, which they hated, was to create a alternative route. We have that opportunity now in 2008. I see it with the bloggers. I see it with MoveOn.org. I see it with Democracy for America. I see it with the campaign of Barack Obama. I see it with my campaign. I think that, we have a unique opportunity to really take this country in a different direction and really let people, and say to people, here's the issues that matter: global warming, climate change, ending the war in Iraq, the issues of affordable housing, the subprime mortgage crisis, bringing people together in spite of their racial, cultural, ethnic differences, not separating people, and making sure that those kind of people exist on these college campuses. One of the things I think needs to happen, and I'm sure it will happen, is that all those young people today that are inspired by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton will become student leaders on their campus, just the way the young Republicans were inspired by Reagan in the 1980s and they became student leaders. I meet people now who are in their early 40s, and I'll say, when did you become politically active? Oh, it was during the 1980s when I was in college. That's what we need to happen, because those are the folks who will be running this country 20 years from now and hopefully making this country the kind of democracy that it ought to be, not the kind of compromised democracy we've been under the Bush administration.